Alright y'all, welcome back to another video on Cage IQ. So I wanted to make a different style of video, inspired by my random ass thoughts. I was watching old fights on YouTube today, and a specific fight came onto the TV, Michael Chandler versus Justin Gaethje, and the first thought that came to my mind is, how the fuck is Michael Chandler still in the UFC? But then another thought came to my mind, yo, he's not the only person that I think should have been cut from the UFC. So I decided, let's make a video on it. And here we are. I'm making a video on 4 fighters from flyweight to lightweight who I think should have been cut a long time ago. This will be the part 1 to that video, and part 2 will come out soon. So let's get right into it. Starting off with flyweight. Amir Albazi. Now, Amir Albazi is probably a surprising name to y'all, but he is, I think he's what? Where is he from again? I don't even want to guess where he's from, but he's from the Middle Eastern region. Let me look it up just so I don't sound like a bad guy. Iraq. He's from Iraq. Well, yeah. Amir the Prince Albazi, 5-2 in the UFC. Right now he's like a top 10. He's a top 10 flyweight. But at the same time, I think he should have been cut a long time ago. Amir Albazi is inactive, and he's been schooled in his last 2 fights. And I just don't think he's a good fighter. The Kai Kara France loss, or the robbery, shall I say, rubbed me the wrong way. He should have lost that fight. But they gave it to him based on control time, and I don't even know why they gave it to you, to be honest, but it just rubbed me the wrong way. And I had a grudge on Amir Albazi ever since that fight. I was thinking, yo, I'm praying that he gets schooled by Brandon Moreno, and he did. Then he fights the Gooch, and I'm praying for the same thing, and he did. So not only are you not a good fighter on the feet, your only chance of winning fights is by grappling, and you're inactive. Yo, Dana, Hunter, Sean Shelby, what we doing, man? What we doing? Get him out of here. I am not a fan of Amir Albazi, and those 2 back-to-back losses, don't get it twisted. Gooch and Brandon Moreno are the best in the world, but still, like, Amir Albazi's fighting style just annoys me, and he'll be gone sooner rather than later. But he isn't the worst on this list. Though I'm probably about to be talking about the worst right now. Going into the bantamweight division, Marlon Chito Vera. Yeah, I think y'all saw this coming. Y'all saw this coming. Marlon Chito Vera has had a very up and down career, to say the least, in the UFC. 15-11 overall in the UFC, and he has some very good wins, some former champions, some legends, but he's also got some very bad losses to some guys that you've never even heard of before, that would never sniff the rankings. And that's just the story of Chito's life, man. But this most previous 4-fight losing streak might be the icing on the cake for Chito, to be honest. He's looked very bad in the last couple of years. Ever since that O'Malley title fight loss, he's just looked like a shell of himself. Like, he's obviously been, losing fights here and there, but these last 4 fights really showed me that he's not in the game anymore. His head is not in the game anymore. Like, you lost to David Martinez, you lost to Ayman Zahabi, and you lost to Figgy, and you got dropped for the first time in that Figgy fight. But do you want to know why you keep losing those fights? It's because you refuse to throw a volume. You refuse to let your kicks go. You refuse to let your hands go. Even though you're this quote-unquote knockout artist, you don't throw enough. And that has been the story of your career. That is why you lose so many fights. He is the most frustrating dude to watch. And yeah, you can call him a fan favorite, and that's probably the reason why he hasn't been released from the UFC yet. But 4 losses in a row usually spells sayonara. Not in Chito's case though. And again, if I was in Dana's shoes, Sean Shelby's shoes, Hunter Campbell's shoes, I'm releasing him. 4 losses in a row is unacceptable. You are clearly not UFC caliber. You're losing to prospects. You're losing to unks. Who can you beat? Who can you beat in the division? Some unranked nobody probably, but bro, anybody can beat an unranked nobody in that division. Chito, I think it's time to go, man. If your head's not in the game and you're on this insane losing streak, hang it up. Now for the next guy I'm about to talk about, his situation's a little different. Josh Emmett. Josh Emmett's had a good career in the UFC, I'll be honest. 10-7, started in 2016. But he started pretty late because, what is he now, like 40 something? So he got into the UFC in his 30s. Not the best look, but for what he's done in that 10-year span, hats off to him. He's gotten to the top of the division, interim title shot, But yeah, that's his peak. So he's gotten to his peak and now he is slowly declining. After that Ilya fight, the decline was on. Now you get a win against Bryce Mitchell, which was impressive, one of the knockout of the year candidates. But then you go on to lose to 3 prospects, 3 young contenders ready to prove a name for themselves. The Lerone Murphy loss wasn't bad, but then the 2 after that shows me that you're getting old and that your style has been figured out. You lose by submission to Yusuf Zalal. Not the first time that's happened. You lose to Kevin Vallejos first round due to you being reckless and swinging like a madman, and Vallejos counters you because he's a better boxer than you. Again, not the first time. So you're losing in all these ways, by decision, by submission, and by knockout. And you're 40 something years old. I think it's time to hang it up. Again, if I was in Dana's shoes, Sean Shelby's shoes, Hunter Campbell's shoes, I'm cutting him. He's an exciting fighter. He'll throw big meaty hooks, as Lucas Tracy would say, haymakers, you know, to excite the crowd, potentially land them like, oh, here comes the knockout artist, Josh Emmett, even though he has 7 knockouts on his record out of, what, 19 wins? Anyway, yeah, that knockout artist shit needs to stop with Josh Emmett. But yeah, he throws these wild-ass shots, and everyone's like, oh. But like, bro, it's not effective anymore. It's not effective. You're just losing for fun now. And I think one more loss, honestly, and it's a wraps. So yeah, Josh Emmett, bro, I think he should have been cut a while ago. Like, the last loss was really the icing on the cake, and I was like, yeah, this might be it for you, bro. But it's not as bad as the next guy I want to talk about, Michael Chandler. Where do I even start with Michael Chandler, man? He got to the UFC in like 2021, so like 5 years ago. Way too late, I'll be honest. It was a little bit late. He was a Bellator legend. He has a lot of good wins on Bellator. But this ain't Bellator, my boy. You get a title shot off of winning 1 fight. Cool, they're trying to promote you because you're, you know, Bellator legend. But then you get exposed by Charles Oliveira. Okay, understandable, it's Charles Oliveira. But then you go on to lose again to Justin Gaethje. Okay, it's Justin Gaethje. But then you go on to beat Tony Ferguson, who is a shell of himself at that point. That Gaethje loss did it to him. But then the losing streak starts. You lose to Poirier. You lose to Oliveira. First of all, you lost to Poirier by submission. Who does Dustin Poirier choke out? When's the last time Dustin Poirier's choked somebody out? That was way back in the day. Wasn't that against Max Holloway? So why are you letting Dustin choke you out? That's already a bad look. But then you get schooled over 5 rounds by Charles Oliveira. I mean, at the end of the day, not the worst way to lose to Charles Oliveira. It's better than getting choked out in 2 minutes. Yeah, fair enough. But you just didn't look good at all. At all. You were just there throwing wildly, and potentially you could have got a knockout in the 5th round from back of the head shots. Let's not even get into the dirty shit that Michael Chandler does. We'll throw that to the side. But he almost gets a win against Charles Oliveira. But before then, he was losing all 4 rounds. So again, another reason why you shouldn't be in the UFC. You're just not on the level of these top guys. But then what really put the icing on the cake was you losing to Paddy Pimblett. So not only are you not on the level of the top guys, you're not on Paddy Pimblett's level either. He just looked too big for you, pause, too strong for you, and you made him look like a technical maestro out there. Why is Paddy Pimblett pumping the jab on your stupid ass? Explain, why is Paddy Pimblett lifting you off the ground, slamming you like you're a little kid, and beating you like you stole something? Let's not even get started with the Conor McGregor saga. We all know about the Conor McGregor saga. He sucks. Yo, Michael Chandler sucks, straight up. You were chasing Conor McGregor for 2 years. 2 whole years. You really did what you're told. You ran around like a little lapdog for Conor McGregor in the UFC. And you still never got the fight. Arman Sarukian said it best. You're over here chasing Conor McGregor for those 2 years when you could have been fighting and lost 4 fights in the span of 2 years. That's how shit and stupid Michael Chandler is. But yeah, let me stop roasting Michael Chandler. Those are the 4 guys for part 1. Stay tuned for part 2. And I'm out of here.
Let me tell you one more thing. This might be the most important thing you'll ever hear. There is true freedom. A freedom that no one can take from you. In the name of Jesus Christ, the Son of God.